guys, welcome back to the channel. We are heading to Adventure Northside and I hope you enjoy it. We got to Adventure Northside after 2-hour drive on Saturday just after opening. Parking was smooth and right at the entrance we tried a raffle for an expedition voucher. Spoiler alert, we won nothing. The first thing we saw were accessories for the buses and vans, nice displayed and honestly they look pretty solid. If you have a bus like this, you can easily sink every amount of money into it. Next up, roof tents. Lot to see, many were expensive. The cheapest we saw was $599. Best bid? A car with 2 roof tents. If one tent didn't fix that little hole in your heart, buy a second. Brands keeps rolling out new colors, options and sizes. We saw roof tents so high you couldn't reach them, and others mounted on cars older than me. Our next stop, Fennec booth, and a few other makers bringing the heat. Had my eyes on the Fennec hexagon, but one shot with the sales guy and I caved for the octagon. It's 3 times lighter, no regrets. Karsten Botte served fire-cooked, simple dishes with great stories, tasty and entertaining. At other stands you could find everything from exotic spices to quirky kitchen gadgets, and yes, even a set of dental tools. Pretty much anything a human might secretly crave at an adventure fair. It's like a treasure hunt for stuff you never know you need. Got hungry? Grab a currywurst with fries and onion soup. Next up, camper trailers. One catch my wife's eye, great for cooking. Another catch mine, perfect for pouring beer. Next, we spent quite a while checking out all kind of finished builds and off-road rigs, from small camper vans to massive expedition trucks. There was everything you could imagine. We took our time looking at layouts, storage ideas and clever little solutions people came up with. It's always inspiring to see how other builds and organize their setup. Sometimes you find a detail that completely changes how you think about your own rig. We talked to a bunch of really interesting people too. Most of them with years of travel experience, sharing stories, tips and real-world advice about planning long trips and overlanding. That mix of creative, practical ideas and people who actually use their gear every day, that's what makes event like this so great. We definitely left with a few new ideas for our own setup. We followed that up with some serious off-road gear. Everything you need to get yourself out of trouble, trick out your rig, and add those absolutely unnecessary gadgets that make it look just a bit more aggressive. That's actually the part I was most into. Just making my rig look aggressive. No, not really. I'm still hunting for a proper winch, good tires and some recovery gear because right now I got very little, just like hairs on my head. Still, I was a bit disappointed. Not many real parts on the display. Maybe there are just so many no-name brands online that it feels like there should be a lot more here. Then we stopped by a small camp reserved just for the Lada Niva owners. They were incredibly friendly and honestly true masters of getting the most for every dollar spent. No fancy setups, no flashy gear, just simple rigs, a great mood and amazing field cooking. They were baking bread and rolls, getting ready for the proper evening feast. One woman even have a roof tent made from a sheet of plywood and a tiny one-person tent from Decathlon. Probably 50, maybe €100 total, and it worked just like a regular roof tent. We chatted about all do-it-yourself stuff, handmade awnings and clever ideas you can build yourself without spending big money on fancy brands. Simple, cheap, and it just works. Pure good vibes, real creativity over big budgets. Next we move on to a section full of do-it-yourself builders, people who already finish their vans, trucks and buses for travel. Some builds were clean and polished, others a bit rough around the edges, but all of them showed a lot of heart and creativity. Everyone had their own ideas, their own way of making things work. We spent quite a bit of time there, talking to the owners, picking up tips and inspiration for the future project. It's great to see how much passion people put into building their own rigs. After that, we walk around the whole exhibition just looking for interesting stuff. We stopped by the booth offering full underbody protection. With a cost estimate roughly equal to value of my car, was a no-go for me. There were plenty of amazing vehicles already built and ready for long trips. The owners had a lot of useful info and great tips for the beginners, really worth listening to. We also found a cool booth with small ATVs. They looked like a lot of fun, but in our reality probably not the most practical choice. There was one booth with gorgeous Land Cruisers, fully built for long trips. I think the car were used but completely equipped, with a price tag of probably over €200,000. Definitely not for everyone, but they look really good. Tough, clean and ready for adventure. Each one had a roof tent, a snorkel, good tires, a lifted suspension and of course a winch. When the rain suddenly hits, we took shelter inside for a bit and check out the range of camper vans on display.
Expensive, very expensive.
Those things are nice, but not in my style. Then we found a booth showing all kind of electric gear for vans. Switches, fuses, panels, everything. It's crazy how complicated van wiring has become these days. A bit further on, we came across a company focused purely on the vehicle lighting. They had some serious impressive setups. Full bars, spot, ambient spots, and more light switches than a small house. You could tell they were all about quality, and the gear wasn't cheap either. But those lights looks incredible. Bright, clean, and built to last. At least that's what I think. Then we found a booth selling interior builds for Land Rovers. Mostly Defenders, I think. We spot a few clever ideas and a few that really surprise us. Like hinges mounted right on top of the panels. Something that could have been done a lot cleaner. Overall, the quality left a bit to be desired. Still, some of the parts already had little notes on them saying sold. So apparently, even with that quality, people are still buying it. Next was something I find really interesting. Companies offering guided trips to places like Morocco. As a beginner, I like the idea. We talked to a few people, got some contacts, and learned what's really needed and what's not. That was the end of our day at the fair. It was already late, we were tired, and it feels like the right time to call it a day. Before leaving, we stopped at the local station, took advantage of the cheap fuel, filled up, and hit the road. Lot of great ideas, cool people, and a bit of motivation to keep building our own setup. Not a bad weekend at all. Hey folks, if you enjoyed this quick recap, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. All that good stuff. See you in the next one.